Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Kataksha Kirana Chanda Naman Mohabdaye Namaha Ananta Nanda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. It's number 16 that we are seeing. You read again. Na prakashehamityuktihi yat prakasheka bandhana swaprakasham tamatmanam aprakashakatam sprushet. Na prakashehamityuktihi na prakasha ekam yat prakasheka bandhana swaprakasham tamatmanam aprakashakatam sprushet. Aham na prakashe iti uktihi. Uktihi vachanam. The statement that aham na prakashe, I do not know. Prakasha here means jnanam. Aham na janami. Aham na janami iti vakyam. The statement that I don't know is not possible for anyone to make unless one is aware of the fact that one does not know. Yat prakasha ekabandhana uktihi. Yat because of which prakasha ekabandhana. Because of the or based upon the light of consciousness alone, one is aware of ignorance. Tam swaprakasham, that which is having its own light, its own awareness, atmanam, the self, katam aprakashaha sprushet. How can ignorance touch? You see, ignorance ignorance is having no independent existence. We always are ignorant about something. I am ignorant of something. It is always about something which we are ignorant about, and not ignorance by itself. The nature of ignorance, therefore, is always connected to something and not independently. Yesterday also somebody asked this question. When we wake up from the sleep, don't we remember the state of experiencing nothing? Yes, we do remember. There is a memory of it. And the memory of what? Memory of absence of things, of something, of everything. And this ignorance, therefore, it is anirvachaniyam, anirvachyam. It is indefinable because of the fact that it is not independent. It can be defined only with respect to something. See, if I don't know a thing, an object, if I don't know Hindi, let us say, the knowledge of Hindi is opposed to knowledge, ignorance of the language. And then, in other words, so long as I do not know Hindi, that is ignorance, is replaced by knowledge. So knowledge of something is opposed to ignorance of the same thing. Or ignorance of a thing is opposed to knowledge of the thing. All right. But that is not the case when it comes to the mud and the pot, just for an example. Knowledge of the mud does not interfere with knowledge of the pot. I can be aware of pot while I am aware of mud also. Unlike ignorance of a thing and the ignorance of the same thing, which is knowledge of the same thing, can be opposed to each other. But knowledge of the mud and knowledge of the pot are not opposed to each other. Why it is so? Because the cause of the pot is the mud. You cannot say cause of the knowledge is ignorance. So the cause and effect can remain simultaneously. Whereas ignorance of a thing and the knowledge of the thing are opposed to each other. Why I'm saying this is, awareness is not opposed to either knowledge nor ignorance. It is like the mud. The mud is there while pot is known. Mud is there when the pot is no more known. no more there. Before the pot was made, mud was there. After the pot is made, mud is there. When the pot is broken, mud is there. Similarly, Brahman, the self, which is Swayam Prakasham, that's Swaprakasham, Atmanam, Tam, Aprakashaha, ignorance, Katam Sprushet. How can it touch? Ganachanna Markam, Ganachanna Drishtihi, Yada Nishprabam, Manyate Muda Buddhe. Tada Baddavad Bhadi Yo Muda Drishte, Sanityopalabdhi Swarupo Hamatma. In Astamalaka, Drishti is Achannam. Ganena Achannam Drishtihi. Ganena Mege, by the Mega, Megena, Ganamegena, it's a rainy cloud. Ganachanna Drishtihi. The vision is affected, but because of the fact that I am not able to see the sun, Ganachanna Markam idi manyate. Nishprabam Arkam idi manyate. Nishprabam Suryam idi manyate. The sun is no more shining. Iti. One thinks, Muda Drishte, because of the deluded vision. Tata, in the same way, Baddavat Bhati. I am bound. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the thoughts, I am my emotions, I am my feelings, I am my opinions. I am human. I am man. I am subject to death. I am subject to birth. Idi Baddavat Bhati Muda Buddhe. Due to his Muda Buddhi. Saha Atma Nityopalat Viswarupa. उसका जन्म नहीं है, मृत्यु नहीं है, आदि नहीं है, अनंत अंत नहीं है. See, the very fact that we seek immortality shows that we are not mortal. If I am naturally mortal, then I would not seek immortality. If I am naturally dukhi, then I don't look for sukham. If I am naturally ignorant, then I am not looking for knowledge. If naturally I am bound, then I don't look for liberation. So the ignorance is absence of a thing, absence of the knowledge of a thing which is not too far away from me. Just like the mud is not too far away from the pot. One who is looking only at the pot and denies the mud does not do anything to the pot. But pot is not affected by that. Neither the mud is not affected by that. Where awareness is there, knowledge as well as ignorance play. Ignorance is also known as much as knowledge is also known. Both are known. That knowing is the nature of awareness. Therefore, katam aprakashaha sprushet atam atmanam swayam prakasham. How can awareness be affected by ignorance? See, it is when I am seeing the snake on the ground, am I ignorant or not? You tell me. When I see the snake on the ground, am I ignorant or not ignorant? Now, one will say you are ignorant. Why? Because there is no snake. Now, until I am told that it is not snake, it is rope, I am not even aware of my ignorance. उसको आरंभ हुआ कि नहीं? अज्ञान का आरंभ हुआ कि नहीं? यस्य आदि अस्ति तस्य अंतम अपि अस्ति. So when do I know that I don't know? Nobody told me that I am Brahman until I came to listen to a Mahatma or a Shruti Pramana. आपको मालूम है आप ब्रह्म हो? Do you know? So when I have no information about my nature, I have no ignorance of that also. So you cannot say you're all born ignorance. From the standpoint of the one who has realized Brahman, because of his statement, I came to know what I need to know. Then the inquiry starts. Acharya upadeshad urdhvam vicharena jnanam sambhavati. Vicharena jnanam sambhavati. अभी विचार न करो तो what he says is useless. I don't think he is saying the right thing. So upadesh ka if you don't take it seriously, you will, I mean, what it is. Even such a person would not even have an acknowledgement that he doesn't know. He doesn't even acknowledge that. So ignorance of the rope is known only when I come to realize that what I am seeing is wrong. Jagat ka astitva, the existence of the world is unquestioned. Until when? Until when we hear the statement Jagat Mithya. Until then, I don't know. So our avichara jivan, that is what is taken next question here. Avichara jivan means vichara rahit jivan. Tadapyabhadi kopyeshah vichara bhava jivanah avashyayaschitakashe vichararthodayavadihi tadapyabhadi kopyeshah vichara bhava jivanah avashyayaschitakashe vichararthodayavadihi. Vichara abhava jivana. Yes, yeah. One who is living a life without inquiry. विचार के बिना जो जीवता है, one who lives without inquiring upon the true nature of oneself, for him also there is ignorance, unknown. Tata api, even then, ka api, kopi ayeshaha, this one, this ignorance, avidya. Tatapi kopi eshaha vichara bhava jivanaha abhadi appears. Chidakashe. It is like avashyayaha, like a thick mist fog, vichara arka udaya avatihi, until the point of the sun, rising of the sun called vichara. The mist is present until the sun arises in the space. Similarly, the effect of ignorance is experienced, though one does not know why that is experienced. ऐसा मानना चाहिए. उसको मालूम नहीं कि ये अज्ञान से. See, when a person is suffering through the experiences of life, sorrow, anger, lust, passion, greed, jealousy, pride, greed, and when such a individual going through these kind of experiences, उसको नहीं मालूम है, मालूम ही नहीं था, उसको ना से, he doesn't even know ये अज्ञान के कारण ही हो रहा है. Just like the seeing of the snake, out of which one is body is shaking, sweating, and many other things are going on. From a standpoint of another person who is only looking at the rope, this person's experience is what? क्यों ऐसा करते हो भाई? Why are you going through that? Oh, देखो देखो वो snake है. A dreamer suffering through the dream is a laughable to a person who is sitting in the waking side and watching him. उसको मालूम ही नहीं है कि वो स्वप्न में है. He doesn't even know that he is suffering through his own dream. So even though ignorance is unknown, as we argued previously, I don't know. Even when you don't know, the effect cannot be stopped. Effect cannot be stopped. So it is said, कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया. माया का अनुभव कैसा होता है? कथम जानामि मायाम? कार्यानुमेया, कार्य के अनुमान से. कार्य माने इफेक्ट. By the effect you अनुमान करके, अनुमान intuition, inferentially you infer, ये तो हो रहा है, what is this happening to me? Must have a reason. And the reason, when you start inquiring, विचार करने से आपको मालूम होता है. By doing that विचार only you come to know, ये इसके कारण हो रहा है, अज्ञान के कारण. अज्ञान निवृत्त्या तस्य कार्य निवृत्ति अपि. कारण निवृत्त्या एव कार्य निवृत्तिः. Only when the cause is removed, the effect can be removed. Symptomatic treatment is not correct. Don't do symptomatic treatment. Only the effect you remove. कारण ऐसा ही करेगा. It will be remaining there only. Karana will remain as you keep on treating on the karya. The effect is treated, not the cause. No, when you get angry, just do pranayam. Pranayam karke fresh, okay? Again, you do the more anger. That's all it will happen. सूर्य नाड़ी, चंद्र नाड़ी, मैं शुद्धि कर रहा हूं. उसके बाद क्या करोगे? What do you do after that? Fresh enough, strong enough to shout again. So, विचार अभाव जीवन है कोपी Abhati, Ayeshaha Abhati, it comes. See, when somebody tells me that it is not snake, it is rope, I must have Shraddha on his words. Shraddha, without that you cannot do vichar. So Shravan se Shraddha hona chahiye. Shraddha purvakam Shravanam. Shraddhanvita Shravanam tadanantaram tadurduvam vichara. Vicharena jnanam. That's why Bhagavan says Shraddhavan labhati jnanam. When I listen to the teacher, I should have, along with that, listening, that is what he's saying is true. What is spoken is, what is said in the scriptures is true. If that basic, fundamental belief in the words are not there, next step called vichar will not take place. And vicharam mina ajnana karyam anubhavati. That result of the effect of ignorance will continue. Vichar, see, Shravan hone se, by just merely listening, karya will not stop. The effect will not end. Effect ends only when jnanat ajnana nivritti. By knowledge, the removal of ignorance. When that takes place through vichara, see, let us say that every day I'm walking in the same road and every time I'm seeing the snake, I'm getting afraid of it. So I decided to change my route. This is not the solution. How long you would do that? So by shutting the world, by walking away from the world or closing your eyes, it will not end. Inquiry. Kya hai? Tattva nischaya matrena prapnyo bhavati nirvritaha. It is said in Ashtavakra Gita. Tattva nischaya matrena. Determination of the true import. Prajna, one who is intending upon knowing, a wise man, prapno, the nirvritim, full completeness, accomplishment. So, the ignorance, even though not recognized, but the suffering through ignorance will continue until one takes up to vichar. Unlike the worldly ignorance and worldly knowledge, which are opposed to each other, as I said, I have no knowledge of Hindi. The ignorance of Hindi can be replaced by knowledge of Hindi. They are opposed to each other. ऐसा नहीं है यहाँ पे, क्योंकि अब व्यवहार भूमि में, in this world of transactional reality, the world is not opposed. The Paramatman is not opposed to any of the worldly knowledge or ignorance. It is like mud is not opposed to the pot. Nor pot is opposed to the mud. Where mud is, pot is also there. Similarly, Brahman being the Adhisthana of this world is being appearance on that Adhisthana Brahman only. There is no opposition there. So a wise person looks at the world, at the same time he knows that the substratum of this world on which the whole thing is projected, Brahman, is there present. Nityopalabdhi Swarupa. So, but his worldly knowledge or worldly ignorance will not affect his awareness. Otherwise, when I come to realize Brahman, then the world should end. Meaning what? I should die. This is also world only. ऐसा नहीं हो रहा. Where the awareness of Brahman takes place, there is no opposition or for any kind. It is not opposed to it at all. Yesterday also I was talking on that thing in the chapter 14. When the teacher says Tattvam Asi, what does it mean? Tat akarta atma api asi tvam, or karta jivaha api tvam eva. Is it not? कौन करता है? कौन है करता here? Who is the doer here? That's why in chapter 14 Bhagavad Gita says Nanyam gunebhyak kartaram yata drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param veti akartar. Anyam gunebhyah karta nasti. When you come to know that other than the gunas, there cannot be any karta. Gunaha eva karta. Guna eva karta. The quality or the kind of mood or the thought that arises in my mind, whether sattvika, rajasika, tamasika, any one of them, that one of them or both of them or two of them, three of them, combination of them are engaging me into this world. So, main karta hoon kab? When is that? Gunaha asti chet karta api asti. Na anyam gunebhya kartaram drashta anupashyati. Gunebhyascha param veti akarta iti. At the same time, the substratum that Brahman is akarta and non-doer. So tadabi tvam, tvam tvam. You are that also, this also. Malum? Both at the same time only. You are the actor as well as the role that you are playing. Is it not? It's not two different people. They both are at the same place only. The actor as well as the beggar are not standing or sitting or staying in two different places. They are in the same place at the same point. Veshanataha swatmadarshana. When you remove the vesha, then you see it. When you put on the vesha, you don't lose it. Put on the vesha, you forgot. I became beggar now. You act as a beggar, but not beggar. So you are allowed to act as a beggar upon knowing that you are acting. Isn't it? Similarly, मैं करता नहीं हूं इस मालूम होने के बाद भी अब करता होगा, करता होएगा. Even as you know that you are not a karta, you will act as a karta. So, knowledge or ignorance cannot touch awareness. That is what is to be understood here as realization of the truth does not contradict the world. Only thing is that a person who comes to know, come to realize also the mithyatvam of jiva as well as the world. The illusory nature of oneself as well as the world he interacts with. That is possible only when there is vichara. That is why vichara, arka, udaya, avadhi until udaya, rising up of vichara, arka, the sun of inquiry. Until then, avashyayaha chidakashe, in the space of consciousness, there is the mist of ignorance. Okay. That is why it is said by Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Nakyasya vidya manaso vidirikta manohya vidya bhavabandha hetu. Vicharam na sahate avidya. The avidya is that which cannot stand the inquiry. When you start the inquiry, that will run away slowly, slowly. Continuing here, what is this proper inquiry that needs to be done? Now, one will ask this question also. Is the moksha is a result of vichara? Is it vichara that results in moksha, freedom? Here the introduction says, in the non-apprehension, ignorance of the self, misapprehension of the suffering, heaven, liberation, etc. arise. All that one seeks out of the world or out of his actions, all, including heaven, including various other worlds and other things are also, which are all given to us in the Vedic portion or the ritual portion of the Vedas. Bhagavan Krishna very clearly says, oh sab, whatever is said there about hell, heaven, this, that, oh sab, ajnana vashat. अज्ञान भूमि में वो सब ठीक है. अज्ञान भूमि में, अविद्या भूमि में. आत्मज्ञान महानिद्रा जृम्भितेऽस्मिन् जगन्मये. दीर्घस्वप्ने स्फुरन्त्येते स्वर्गमोक्षादिविभ्रमाः. आत्मज्ञानमहानिद्रा जृम्भितेऽस्मिन् जगन्मये. दीर्घस्वप्ने स्फुरन्त्येते स्वर्गमोक्षादिविभ्रमाः. Ete vibhramaha spuranti. These kind of vibhramaha, all these kind of delusions, Brahma means a mere delusion. Where what kind of a delusion is? Swarga moksha adi. Ete vibhramaha. Heaven, liberation. Where? Asmin, in this Atma Ajnana Mahanidra Jrumbide. Jrumbanam is to project. Jrumbide Asmin is being projected on. Atma Ajnana Mahanidra Jrumbide. Projected on the long, great, deep sleep. Why sleep is and ignorance is so equally compared or correlated? Why is this correlated? Because in both the conditions, knowledge doesn't take place. Ajnanavastha mein, in the state of ignorance, you deny knowledge. You do not engage in knowledge. And Atma Ajnana Mahanidra. In the absence of self-knowledge, Asmin Ujrimbide Jagatmaye, in this very world, this world is present in the realm of ignorance. Dirgha swapne spurantyete. Now you see, when somebody says, I want moksha, the very reason a person seeking for moksha is, presently he is not happy or content, comfortable with the present condition. I want swapna, I want swarga. I want the pleasures of swarga. You don't know what they are, but you're told there are so many things there. Oh, you will get whatever you want, you can enjoy as much as you want, all that. So presently, I am not in that condition. Presently, I am not experiencing it. Therefore, I am seeking it. Meaning, the present condition is true and I want to get rid of it. As much as Arjuna was suffering through that problem of indecisiveness, should I fight or not? Do I need the Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna, Najarajyam Sukanicha, Kimno Bhogena Govinda, Kimmo Rajyena Govinda. What is the need of all that? I do not want any one of them. When did he come to say that? When he's indecisive about should I fight it or not? Out of killing my own people, how do I enjoy all these things? All that. So when a person is in a particular condition which he does not want to be, then he wants a liberation out of it. Correct? So the condition in which he is considered real, and therefore he wants to get out of it. So when Vedas, the rituals, what they say, yes, you are in this world, which is this Dukkamayam Jagate, and this is, you are supposed to birth and death and this thing, and now because of this condition, you are suffering, and now here is the solution, and do this ritual, and you will go to Swarga. After Punya Prapti, you will go to Swarga. Right. Understandable. This is all it is being taught. The Vedanta says, ye aap jagat jo kehte ho aap, what you are considering or saying that as the world, uska astitva satyatva ya hai hi nahi. Usko bare mein socho. Only when the bondage is real, the seeking for liberation is also correct, appropriate. If the bondage is shown as unreal, then what will you do? Then what do you want? Moksha? होना चाहिए क्या? Vedanta's approach is not to discourage a person wanting to go to Swargam. The question is, are you really suffering? Your suffering is more a psychological incompleteness. If you really think, you will realize that it is an incomplete knowledge about yourself, which is what you are suffering from. It is like my computer has a problem, let us say, and it is not functioning well. I know it's really causing trouble. So somebody comes and tells me, I will solve the problem for you. Okay, do it. Wait. Before I solve the problem, I'll tell you what the problem is. Okay, I'll teach you. Then he teaches me where exactly is the problem. All right. Now, once I come to know the problem exists because of my ignorance of the problem, when I come to know what it is, it's a question of me going to that point and one small wire here and there is missing or misplaced or whatever. Just correct it. Now, why solve the problem? By knowledge. In this example, there is a real problem and then there is a real solution. Whereas in the Atma Ajnanam, it is an absence of not having a correct knowledge. It is not, there is a problem. It is the incorrect knowledge that's a problem. It is incomplete knowledge that is a problem. It is not that I don't know. Everybody knows I am. There is no doubt about it. Nobody can say I am not. I am is very well known, but how much you know about it? In the absence of the complete knowledge about who you are, there is suffering. And because the suffering you want to end, therefore you look for Swarga. And it is said that even in the Swarga you go, you the same stupid only is going. Not somebody else. There also incompleteness will continue or not. No, because you change the place, it doesn't mean that you have become complete. See, if you say because of this physical body, I'm feeling bound. Okay. Swarga loke na bhayam kinchanasti. In the Swarga loka, there is no fear at all because there is no body. Body nahi to bhog kaise karoge bhai? If body is not there, how are you going to enjoy the Rasagulla there? How? How do you enjoy? So there is a subtle body. It has to have a subtle body. In the subtle body only, even now we are enjoying the Rasagulla, really speaking. So that subtle body which I think I am, continues there also. Punya kiska hai? Atma ki? Ya Sukshma Sharir ki? Punya also belongs to Sukshma Sharir only, not Atma. So the mind which has gathered the so-called Punyam, he is going there to experience certain things through the subtle body. That subtle body which is ignorant is here as well as there. So the solution is finally is not there. There also you continue there for a period of time. You enjoy whatever you want to enjoy there. Uske baad, there also you create politics. So long as ignorance is there, you go anywhere you go, it will continue. So this is why it's called Atma Ajnana Mahanidra. A long, deep sleep. In which this universe, Jrumbite Asmin Jaganmaye. And in that, all the delusions, Brahmaha, Vibramaha, Swargamokshadi, Ete Spuranti, Dirga Swapane. Why he is giving Swapana here? Because at the end of the dream has to be there. And upon end of the dream, when you wake up, you become more miserable because you enjoyed all that thing that is ended. The reality of Gurudev would say, the real reality of that dream, the reality that you experience, whatever you experience in the dream, upon waking up, when you come to know that it was not real, not only now you are miserable, and you look foolish also. Not only miserable, foolish, because how foolishly I was going through that. So in the Dirgha Swapana, this is a long dream. Now, Swami, you said moksha is also Brahma. Yes. Oh, I think Swapna is Brahma, I can understand. How can moksha also Brahma? See, anything is anything and everything is subject to end if it is not there before. जिसका आरंभ है उसका अंत भी होगा. That which has beginning must end as well. So you cannot say आत्मज्ञान पढ़ने से मुझे मोक्ष का आरंभ हुआ. After reading the knowledge of the self, I came to have moksha, beginning. There is nothing called beginning of moksha. And therefore, when you say moksha has no beginning, and then if the moksha has no beginning, but it is not, then you have to say it is not there. Or you have to say it is always there. That which has no beginning means what? It is not there. Or it is always there. So that which is always there alone cannot end. That which was never there cannot end because it is never there, first of all. That which has a beginning also will end. So therefore, moksha ka arambh nahi hai. There is no beginning of moksha. So what one comes to realize is that liberation is always there, but I have not been experiencing it due to my preoccupation with my own constant unintelligent identification with the projected world, which because of my continued ignorance, Mahanitra. And when the inquiry takes place efficiently, intelligently, I come to remove my confusion about myself and come to rediscover that which has already been there all the time. So that which is already there all the time, is it a product of some action? Akridaha kramena karmana na sambhavati. Akridaha karmana na sambhavati. Na karmana. Gurudev, in one of the talks, he said, to accomplish anything, you do three things. To accomplish anything, you put an effort to get what you want. That is one method. The second method is you take the help of people to get that thing done. Or you give money and get it. Either you put effort yourself and get it, work hard, or you get it done with the help of others. Third, you give money in exchange to get it. This is how everything is got in this world, correct? But this moksha is that by effort you cannot get it. By doing karma, you cannot get it. Not somebody can give it to you. With the help of somebody, you cannot get it. Nor you can buy it for some money. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. So then how will I get it then? How will I get? How will I get that which cannot be got by doing any action? Not by the help of somebody, not by exchange of money or wealth or anything else. So kaise karu? So the method is tyagena eke. त्याग करने से ही होगा. किसका त्याग करना है? अज्ञान त्यागेन. ज्ञान प्राप्त्या अज्ञान त्यागेन. by the method of knowing and unceremoniously removing your ignorance. Uska naam hai vichar. That is what is called vichar. अरे बाबा स्वामी जी मुझे समय नहीं है ना विचार करने के लिए. Time is not there. स्वामी जी you don't understand. You don't have time for vichar. विचार करने के लिए, for the sake of vichar, self-inquiry, there is no need for time. It needs only attention. Attention मत बोलो, ये उसका टेंशन हो रहा है. Don't say attend and attention. I am getting tensed. Attention here does not mean an effort to replace one with another. It is shifting your focus from the unreal to the real, from the impermanent to the permanent, from the ephemeral to the eternal, from the seen to the unseen, from the known to the unknown. That is the method of vichar. It is not an effort, physical action, nor it can be supported by somebody else, or it cannot be in exchange of any money or wealth. That is the reason why it is said that moksha, even though uncaused, can be experienced or can be gained when a person comes out of the long, deep state of deep sleep of ignorance. Atma ajnana mahanidra jumbide asmin jaganmaye dirgha swapne yete spuranti swargamoksha vibramaha. Here moksha also can be taken as going to the Brahmaloka ityadi. All right. So we'll see the next verse in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.